Hi everybody, I'm Vicky Hanna. Here's our quick tips on role plays. So, how do we mark your role plays? You upload them into your porthole. We go in and we open them up. If you have saved your role play in the formatting that we wanted, in the times, and you have gone ahead and happy with your work, checked it all, and finally submitted up there, different assessors who hold the qualifications that you're studying for will open up that role play and we apply an observation checklist. So the observation checklist, which is what the assessor uses, is I observe the learner and I observe the learner do these things. These covered this task, did this client support plan, engaged the client. These are all of the tips. So there's anywhere between 10 and 25 steps along the way that we're looking for, but a lot of them are your micro skills. So in a micro skill, that is your, did you do your privacy and confidentiality? Did you let people know that you wouldn't be sharing any of their information without their consent? Did you let them know that as you were going through the support plan with them and collaborating, that you might be bringing in some other services and that you need a consent form signed? So we're looking for quite a few steps along the way with that. I'll share a role play instruction and what the assessor is looking for as well, just to give you an example. All role plays have an observation checklist and the assessors use those. So we must, it's a requirement of the regulations before we can mark anybody as competent or not yet competent, is that we use the assessment tool, which is the standard for all of the national qualifications around the course that you are doing. So how do we mark it? We look at a core unit of CHC COM 002 task 3. So with that core unit, it will be facilitate a meeting, do that in 15 minutes. In the instructions, it says that you will, because you're general manager from First Access, so you've been into your site, you've got all the templates, the general manager is going to say to you, I want you to form a safety and respect committee. That's what this unit tells you to do. And I want you to facilitate a meeting. I want you to bring a particular group of people from our organisation, and that will be played by other peers in your class. This unit, this role play is actually assessor-led. So the assessor will be there in real time, and an assessor-led one, they absolutely will be able to say if you're there. If you're not, they will just send the information to you and give you that strength-based feedback. So looking at that, if it's not there, they will ask you to maybe do a part 2, almost there, but not quite. The other assessor may not have been there. They might have captured the information and it's uploaded for someone else to mark. So it might mean that you only need your ID and a simulated setting, and we can mark that again. This link here will show you how to do your part 2. But let me bring up for you an example of a role play and what an assessor is looking for. We'll use this one because it is a core unit, and every qualification at HADA and every Australian national recognised training for community sector is CHC COM 002, because communication is a key part of your practitioner skills. Let's have a look at that one. So let's have a look at CHC COM 002. This is an assessor-led one, but what I wanted to do was show you what is it we do when we're marking. So with this particular one, it has, let's have a look, it's got 8 assessment markers that we have. And we are going to follow these assessment markers to be able to do that. Just let me find that for you. Perfect. Okay, so you don't see this, but this is what every assessor will see. So this is for one particular qualification around disabilities. And the first one asks us, during the role play, I observe the learner demonstrate the following: use appropriate communication strategies for a staff meeting. So what did they do? Did they get their email out? Did they have the agenda? Have they got their template? Are they working to that agenda? Are they making sure that they stay on point in that agenda? Did they use appropriate communication strategies for a staff meeting? And given the directive was to form a meeting, part of this unit and the learning is about teams, how they form, how they move to performing. And in this, part of the role for the participants in the meeting is not everyone will be as enthusiastic, and people have to play different roles. You will be assessed on your ability to use appropriate communication strategies to make sure that everyone's voice is heard and valued, but the meeting stays on track. You have 15 minutes to start and end this. At the beginning, it's a welcome, starting on time. You're doing acknowledgement to country, say what lands you're on. So you can see here, I've got Vicky Hannon and Tarablang Bunda, which is the First Nation lands that I sit on. And we do acknowledgement to country at Haida because we have respect for our First Nation people and the lands on which we work, live and study. So another one, the second one, did the learner communicate respectfully? Okay, so none of this is scary at the moment. This is, okay, I can do that. This is what we're marking you on. So did you follow the workplace communication protocols? You'll know what they are because they're actually sitting in the First Access portal. So, and your instructions are in there where you go in and look at the policies, and your role play instructions will tell you which policies to look at. So your preparation and planning is very important. We will know as an assessor, based on your role play and your supporting documents that you upload, how ready you were for that, and we can mark you on that. Did you contribute to the aims and objectives of the meeting? So given that this is done with all members from your class or all learners from Haida, we don't do this with outside people. It's an assessor-led one. We're actually observing as well the people who play the staff members, and then you round robin and rotate, and then someone else takes that role, and then you sit and you participate in that meeting, and you act as one of the staff members. So contribute to the aims and objectives of the meeting. Everyone is being assessed, both as the facilitator and as someone who participated in that meeting where one of your peers ran that. 5 is, did you contribute useful information? Were you part of that discussion and part of that meeting? Did you also, as a facilitator, did you encourage others to participate? During the role play, did you use communication strategies that show respect for the needs of others? So everyone who's reading, I've got this role, then they have to take on that particular character. So the meeting is formed because there was an incident. It recognised that there were some gaps in how they deliver the services. It raised the need for education and awareness. And the general manager has said, I want you to form a committee. I want you to get a working group going and do the first meeting. And that's what this is. This is the very first meeting of the Safety and Respect Committee, and the key issue being workplace health and safety. And then the final one is, did the minutes get taken? So it can be difficult to delegate who's going to do the minutes in the meeting, but you will have a recording and you will be able to play that recording back at half speed. You'll be able to fill in the minutes and do that for yourself. At the end of the 15 minutes for this particular role play, there's 5 minutes of feedback. There are 4 feedback sheets that need to be completed by participants. Everyone that played a role will give you that feedback based on the template, what kind of feedback. It actually guides you. So it's in your instructions. It gives you the link to the feedback form. You will fill those in yourself because you will have them in the recording, and you'll play that at slower speed. You can pause. It's your resource to be able to complete all of these and then upload the feedback forms, the minutes from the meeting, the copy of the agenda, and you will have the email for the next one that goes out with the next agenda as well. So there's quite a lot of supporting documents. We're going to be assessing whether you did your written and your practitioner skills. So if you're jumping into this particular role play, it's being assessed in real time. You've got an assessor there to help you where you need the help, but mostly that's the timing to let everybody know that they're on track. It says 15 minutes, so it's 15 minutes, and then the additional 5 minutes. So all up, if 4 people are there as participants, plus yourself, there's 5 for this particular role play, and we'll coordinate those people to turn up for you. But that means that this is going to take a minimum of 1.5 hours to be able to do that and participate. So you'll be there for the duration and you'll participate in everybody's in that. This is our biggest one, but it gets marked and it's a core unit for you. So that's an observation checklist, something that your assessor is filling in as you are doing your role play in real time. Okay, so I hope you find that that is helpful. And that is how an assessor marks a role play. We have a tool, an assessment tool, and we make sure that we provide you with any of that feedback in your learners portal after you submit that. So if you do get feedback to try again, it might be there's a missing component, but with an assessor-led one, the main aim is to make sure that it's everybody passes. With the assessor there, they'll guide you. If there's a couple of gaps, they'll use some of those motivational interviewing questions to get you over the line. So I hope you found that helpful. This is how assessors mark your role plays.